Welcome to my channel and welcome back to my subscribers. As always, thank you so much for all of the support that you show me on YouTube, in the Junk Journaling Facebook groups, and in the Etsy store. So today we are going to do the following. We're going to make some notepads, little mini tiny treasures, and then we're going to do one that's actually a hidden notepad. So let's get started. First, let me give you an overview of what we're going to be doing. So I'll do a little show and tell, and then we will do the actual tutorial. So this is a page out of my journal that I have glued this envelope to. So when I open up the envelope, you know, it's filled with some goodies in here from the new paper line. You know, I've got some journaling cards, a little bingo card, more journaling cards. But then, where is my notepad? So my notepad is actually hidden, and here's where it is. You're going to slide this out, and you're going to turn it over, and here is your hidden notepad. Isn't that cool? So let's take a look at how I did this. Alrighty, let me set this aside. So what you need 2 envelopes, all right? And I've already cut the top off of this one. So you're going to cut the top off. You need 2 envelopes that are identical, all right? And you're going to cut the top off of one envelope, and that's how you'll get this base, right? Then on the second envelope, what you're going to do is let's make my envelope whole again. On the second envelope, what you're going to do is you're going to cut away one area here, one area here, and one area here. And that will give you the piece that's able to slide in and out, right? Okay, so if you haven't cut narrow enough and you find that it's a little tight, it's not sliding in, then you just take a hair off on each side, and then you give it another try. If it's still not going into the envelope, then again, you take another hair off, very fine, another hair off, very fine. And if this starts to come to a point, it's losing its roundness, then you just take your scissor and angle it, and then eventually you'll find that it slides in just fine. You don't want to take too much off. You don't want this to be too narrow, then it looks funny. And let me show you if you take off too much. So, okay, so here, when this gets folded down, you can see a little lip on this side and a little lip on that side. So it doesn't look good. I'll give you a little more contrast there. A little lip over here and a little lip over there. So when you're cutting these sides down ever so slightly, just be patient with it because you want it to look great. Okay, so that is how I did this little hidden notepad. Okay, so the next one, let's keep it moving with our notepad. So let me just get this put away. Okay, so the next one that I did is this one. And you might be wondering, what is this hanging from? How is this What is this suspended from? I created a little transparent belly band. I wanted to try something different, and then I glued it together with the snail glue, and then I put a little label over it so that you can't see where things were glued. And let me show you what I used to create the transparent belly band. So you've seen me use this product before. This is the acetate-like sheets, and it's very flexible, bendable. I really like using it. So, okay, so this is the outside of our little notepad with a little embellishment, and the next video we're going to work on these little embellishments and some other embellishments. So I've already begun prepping for that video. Okay, so here's the outside, and then here's the inside. So we have some of the new paper line. We've got some Santa bingo cards. So those will be in the store sometime today in the Etsy store. So you can do some journaling on the backs of these. And then a tag that you can do some journaling on. And then this, it flips down. And here are your two pads that you can do some writing on. All right, so let's take a quick look at how I did this one. It was really simple. Okay, so here's the scoreboard. And for this one, let me give you the measurements. So that one is 5 by 3 3/4, and you are going to score. So you're going to score at 2.5, and then you're going to fold. Then remember, I have this little flap here. So this little flap is 4 1/4 by 2.5, and you're going to score at 1/2. And then you're going to do your angle cuts, and you're going to do another angle cut, and you're going to put glue on the back here, all right? And then you're going to glue this here, and that's how I got that flap. But I want you to be aware of something. Even though when you fold this in half, and it's 2.5 inches, and this is 2.5 inches, when this is placed into this little fold, do you see that little lip there? It sticks out just ever so slightly. It sticks out. So what you need to do is, and I wrote it here, the 2.5 inch side, you want to cut it just ever so slightly less. That way, when this is resting inside here, everything is all even on the side. Okay? So that is essentially how I did this one. And you already know how to make pockets. You've seen me do this in the past. Okay, so let's look at the next one. Okay. So with this one, let's take a look. So I have another one of these little dangly things here. And we'll open this one up. And right away, you have a journaling pad. And then we have some journaling cards here that you can journal on the back. We've got an altered Santa bingo card with Santa there, and another Santa figure here. Okay, and then we'll open this up, and we have another journaling pad, and we have some more journaling cards here in the center. Okay, so this is essentially a little trifold notepad. So let me get these things put away, and then we'll take a look at how that was done. It's pretty simple, not that difficult to do. Okay, so this 7.5 by 3 3/4, and you're going to score at 2.5, and you're going to score again at 5. Now, when you do your trifold, sometimes what can happen is you get a little bit of buckling, right? Do you see that? This is not going to, it's not going to be flat. So what you do is, again, I always tell you, take a hair off on the edge, okay? So I'm going to take a hair off, and I'm going to come right back. Fine. That did the trick, okay? So that's going to lay a little bit flatter, okay? Now, what you're going to do is you need that flap that let's see, with this one, did I do a flap on this one? No, with this one I didn't. I just did a straight trifold. So that was essentially it, right? Now, let me give you the measurements for the pads. And again, they're all the same. So let me get my ruler, and the little notepads, these are this way. It's 2 1/4 by, it should be by 3.5, and it is by 3.5, okay? And that is the same with these two. Now let's take a look at the next little notepad. Let me set these aside, set my ruler aside. So this one, it's also a trifold, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 little notepads on this one, right? And then let's take a look at some of our little journaling cards. We've got our little Santa journaling card, and then we have another Santa journaling card. Okay, now with this particular trifold, I added a little bit of a spine, So let me give you the measurements for this. Okay, so this one is going to be 7 3/4, ever so slightly less. You're going to cut a little bit off on the end here so that you don't have the buckling, right? So just a hair under 7 3/4 that way by 3 3/4 this way. And then you're going to score a few times, okay? So you're going to score at 2.5 and 2 5/8. Then you're going to score at
5 1/8 and 5 1/4.
And then, you know, you'll do your, you'll use your bone folder to get things creased down, and then you'll get this. Okay, and then I have this little flap, and the measurements are the same. All the flaps that I did, the measurements are the same. So again, we've got this 4 1/4 this way, and then we've got 2.5 this way, and you're going to score at the 1/2 inch mark, and then you're going to do your angle cut. Okay, you're going to put your glue on this side, all right, flip it, and then you'll glue it down. And remember, I wrote slightly less than 2.5 inches, so that when you glue this together and you know you bring your sides in, everything, there's not going to be any buckling. Okay, so slightly less. The next one that I did, this one is a matchbook style. So it opens up like a little matchbook would. And then I gave you on here a little Santa bingo card and another journaling card. And let me just set these aside. And then you have your little notepad here. So let's take a quick look at how I did these. And if you like the labels and the paper, they're in the Etsy store. And the bingo and the Santa bingo, I'll get those in the store sometime today. So if you're interested in those, it's coming. Just give me some time. So with that one, here's how this goes. With this one, you need something. You need a card that is, let me just write this down so you can see it. So from here to here, this is 8 1/4. 8 1/4 by, this is 2 1/2. So 2 1/2. And then you're going to score at the 3/4 inch mark. So you're going to score along the
8 1/4 side at the 3/4 inch mark.
Okay, and then you'll fold that down. Okay, then you'll get your paper, and the paper is the same size that I mentioned before for the measurements here, and that was 2 1/4 by 3 1/2. And what you're going to do is bring that in here, get it centered. Do any distressing that you need to do before you staple things down, and then get your papers in. And again, try to get that centered. And then as we did last week with the tea bag folio, when you do your stapling, you don't want to bring the staple all the way in. You want to bring it back far. And then try to get it in the center and try to get it as straight as you can. And then what you're going to do is you're going to just staple it down. Okay? And what you're going to do is you'll bring this up, and you make sure that you're as far as you can go to where the staple is. Make sure that everything is aligned. You don't want this to be on an angle, so you want to make sure that everything is aligned. All right. And then once you're sure everything is aligned, get your bone folder, and then you'll make that crease. Okay? And then you do your decorating, and that's essentially it. Okay, so we covered a few things today. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Please do subscribe, and please share. Alrighty, take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.